to, pay them to do the job that they're good at, instead of me trying to figure it out so I can save a couple bucks here or there. And then the time that I spend trying to figure that out, it's also translates to money, right? Because time is money. So it's that. It's just kind of like using resources better, spending money on things that are necessary, not getting caught in trying to wear too many hats at the same time. It's okay to ask for help. So those have been kind of learnings for us.
Interesting. So to be surrounded by people that know more about a specific subjects than you is very important.
Yeah, and I also think that it's important to also give value to that. I think that also gets lost, and I think it also happens a lot in the Hispanic culture, the Latino culture. We have friends, and I know fulano that can do this or that, and I think it's important to give meaning the same way that you're offering a product or a service, and you obviously need to sell it or make money off of it for your business to be successful. You have to pay that forward to the other people that have that knowledge or that other service that you need. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Now, a question. Yeah. Have you been exposed to any kind of failure? I mean, not huge, but, the sensation of failure, or something happened that was unexpected and actually you didn't want it to happen. And how do you overcome that situation?
Yes. So there was a moment in, I want to say maybe it was year 3 or 4 for HIZO, where we had a very big project that we had won. That project was awarded, meaning we got paid for it, but then the project got delayed for almost a year. So what happens is we didn't take any newer projects throughout those at least 6 months, because we were kind of ready to pull the trigger to work on that other project that already had been paid. So what happened was that created a big of a hole and a cash flow issue for us. So that was a big learning for us. And the good thing that we did is that we had in place our savings, and we had in place, again, we were able to pick up other work to make up for it, but it got a little hairy there for a second, and we had to work. And this is what I'm saying about working 24/7. For that amount of time, we had to work weekends, nights, mornings, just very late, trying to kind of catch up, because we kind of created a hole there.
So the mistake,
planning.
The mistake was wait, not to move on to a different job. Is that right?
Yeah, the mistake was kind of just standing in a holding pattern, waiting for that project to start, where we should have continued booking all the other projects. And whenever that project came up, then we would have had to figure out how to make it happen, but not stop. We did that once. It has not happened again.
Hopefully not.
Really learned from it.
Do you have a mentor or somebody that is your inspiration?
So I don't specifically have a mentor here that I can tell you that I looked up to. However, when I worked at Saatchi & Saatchi right out of college, after being 2 years in Fort Lauderdale, they moved me to Los Angeles. And I worked there for Toyota, and their office was in Torrance. And the CFO of that company at Saatchi & Saatchi, his name is Scott Gilbert. He no longer is in the business. He used to be a principal back in the day before he became a CFO of a major company. He was the most amazing human being I've ever met. He was an amazing leader. His human factor was insane. He knew everybody's names, and he will run into you in the elevator and will ask you about something that he knew about you. And he was very given. He always believed that if the people that were working for him were happy, then people would go the extra mile, and that's what happened. I literally worked in a company that were 500 employees, and we all knew each other. Everybody looked after each other. People were happy to work there, and I haven't seen that since I left that. It was very refreshing. So I've always had that in my heart. I was always okay, if I ever get to do this on my own, I'm taking these learnings from this man. So wherever he is, because I barely see him anymore, I thank him for treating me so amazingly and for the job that he did at that company.
So beside the team, having the right team surrounding you, what's the other most important part of operating your own business?
Well, besides the team, it's like you have to be there 100%, and you have to believe in it, and you have to want it, and you have to be prepared to give it your all. I believe that if you work hard and you're a good person and you do things right, things work out. As cheesy as that sounds.
So would you go back to a 9-to-5 or working for others?
I really hope that never happens. You can never say never, right? Because you never know what life can throw at you, but it definitely is not my goal. I prefer working 24/7, as I call it, than going back to a 9-to-5. I love what we're doing here and the people that we're working with and the things that we're creating and how many people we've been able to help and brands that we've been able to help build. It's been pretty amazing.
So what does the word money mean for you?
Money?
Money, yeah. Dinero.
Yeah. That's a tricky question. It evolves, right? There was a point in my life where I wanted to make a ton of money, but it was because I wanted to be able to achieve certain things. So I was able to have a lot of money, and then I was able to do this thing that I am doing. And now money has become a thing for me where it's like I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to have enough to be able to live a good life. But my goal is not to have millions in the bank. My goal is to be able to have time to go save the dogs and time to go and volunteer and help people doing things or go clean a beach. Or, for example, when Hurricane Maria happened, because I put myself in this situation where money is not something that it's, killing me, I was able to stop for a second and leave the business running kind of in autopilot with the amazing people that I have here. And then I was able to submerge myself and help for almost 3 months, 100% in rebuilding and helping Puerto Rico. So obviously you need money to be able to do that. And obviously, if the more money you have, the more you can help people. But I don't measure it anymore in that quantity, more as like having the ability to have time to do things.
Very interesting, and I totally agree with you. Money actually doesn't make you rich. It makes you richer or poorer, whatever you are. So money is like an amplifier of your own being.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
If you're let's say a mean person, money is going to make you meaner, and so on. So, money doesn't bring you happiness, but probably brings that peace, that sensation that, you can devote your time to your priorities. And,
right.
Is that so? Do you have, going back to the actual business, do you have a client case or someone that you consider represents your best story of success?
Wow. Okay. Yes. So there's two. I'm going to mention two. One of them is the Ministry of Tourism for the Dominican Republic. Those guys have been with us for 9 years. It was the first project that we got, and it's the project that we continue to have. And we work in conjunction with another agency, and we are extremely proud of that work and that relationship. The second one, which I think speaks a little bit more from every angle that I love what APA says is being able to achieve, it's called Wynwood Brewing Company. And Wynwood Brewing Company came to us as Luis and Sandra, which was literally a newlywed couple. He was doing home brewing in his house, was doing pretty good recipes, really enjoyed it, and he wanted to open a craft brewery in Wynwood. Wynwood is this area here in Miami. And at that time, the craft beer scene was non-existent here in Miami. So we sat down with them literally in the living room of their house the first time that we met and helped them build everything from the name to the logo to the first labels for their beers, all their marketing, positioning, their business plans to be able to go to the bank to get the money to do this. We did all their branding, all their social media, their website, and then they had to go get the money. They finally got it. That took years. That took almost a year and a half for them to be able to even open their doors. So we were there with them along the way. Then they opened, and it was trying to get Miami to embrace and try out this whole craft beer thing, which was huge in Colorado, for example, but not here in Miami. So little by little, we kept doing things. Their beer is amazing, which obviously you need to have a good product for these things to work.
Of course.
His father joined the company as well, and they, father and son, working on it, amazing team of people. And then little by little, they kept growing and growing and growing to the point that I think it was 2 years ago, they actually were able to sell part of it. And now they're like, training wheels are off. We have given them our blessing, and now they're on their own in a bigger scale with other companies and other things.
That's amazing. So you work with Luis Pops?
I work with both of them. They're called the Brignonis family, and Luis is the son, and then Luis Pops is the dad. And one of the beers is actually named after him, and it's my favorite of theirs. It's called the Pops Porter. And yeah.
That's very interesting. Before we finish, I would like to ask you 2 questions, if you allow me. Is there a habit that you have that you consider fundamental in your personal growth and that it helps you to deal with the pressure of your daily life?
Well, a habit, yes. I practice a lot of yoga. And I always try to be involved in something else, volunteering or helping somebody out. That I feel that helps me keep things in perspective. It helps me have a better understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing and remind me of why I made this choice, right? And even when you have hard days and things get stressful, when I get involved and I'm helping other people or working with the dogs, for example, and things like that, it just kind of like helps my mind calm down a little bit and be able to focus on the things that I have to do. For us, this job, I was talking about it the other day with a friend, I don't stop working, right? Because when I'm taking a shower, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is how I can resolve this issue for this person. Or I'll be in the supermarket and I see something and then that triggers a thought. So I'm always working. My mind is always running. So yoga and volunteering has been very helpful to kind of calm my anxious mind a little bit.
Interesting. Now, if you have a huge billboard in the city, what message could you put on it beside your business name, of course?
Oh,
Got you there?
Yes. I would say how you treat people. Let's see. Let me see. How can I... that's a good one. Wow. You're asking me, you understand? Like, this is what I do for a living. I have to think about it.
I know. That's so funny. You would be the first and the fastest answering that question, but I think it's kind of difficult because what you do, actually, you have to, your mind is processing so many factors, pros, cons.
Yeah. I would say this. There's a saying that says how people treat you is their karma and how you treat them is yours. So I've always liked that very much. I think that it defines what I think being a human should be. So it would be that.
Interesting.
How people treat you is their karma and how you treat them is yours.
Another question just came to my mind. I forgot to ask you before about it. Did you, as a woman and minority, did you take advantage of any program that could probably help you launching your business?
So I actually didn't. However, I am now. So as of last year, we are what is called 8A certified, women-owned, hub zone, and disadvantaged. So that means